And since it was a down market, I planned on getting at least 6 months of nothing better than $1 a mile revenue.
Wow. Welcome to This Week in Trucking, the podcast that tells you what you need to know about the trucking market for the week. My name is Caroline, and today I'm really excited to have the opportunity to talk to Ilya Denisenko, owner of ICV Express, to talk about how he is running his owner-operator trucking business. Thanks so much for being here, Ilya. And let's talk about the cost of starting a trucking business and running a trucking business. When you first got started, you got an LLC, you bought your own truck. What did all of that cost just to get started on the road?
Pretty much just to get all the registrations and authority and everything, it came out to $8,100. It's literally not the truck. That's not pay for anything. That's not any of the supplies. It's literally just authority and registrations. It was
Registrations, licenses that you need to get started, $8,000.
Yeah, and that also includes $4,000 down for the insurance, because first year insurance is insane right now. Like, the best quote I got at that time was about $25,000 with $4,000 down. And the other quotes I got were near and above 30,000. So
yeah, I was going to say 25 actually isn't the highest I've heard.
Right. So then outside of that, the truck, it's almost always a bad idea to buy a brand new truck going into the business. I figured out a good price range for me was anywhere from 30 to 60,000, depending on the truck. And I was really only looking at the Freightliners or the Volvos.
How did you work that into your calculations? I mean, you paid $55,000 up front for the truck plus the, maintenance on it. Do you put that over a year? Are you looking at that as month to month, how much you need to be making to pay yourself back for that truck?
Yeah, so I looked at basically the total startup of the business. That's the truck, the registrations, the investment of the upgrades. That's the trailer rental. That's also going into it. I planned on, since it was a down market, I planned on getting at least 6 months of nothing better than $1 a mile revenue.
Wow.
So sure. I needed to have money planned above to cover anything above that. So that as well. Basically going into the whole thing, total package was probably about $90,000 that it cost. And that's what I planned out as the truck payment kind of thing. And I factored it into the numbers basically like that, basically as if I bought a $90,000 truck.
So let's then talk about the ongoing costs of running your truck. What kind of fuel mileage do you get? And what do you do to try and save money on fuel?
A big factor is speed. If you look into fuel economy kind of stuff, efficiency, the common number is 1 mile per gallon for every 10 miles per hour. And that's pretty much what I've seen. If I drive 65, my truck will get in the 8s, somewhere in the 8 mile per gallon range. If I slow it down to the low 60s or 57, 58, 59, my truck will easily be in the 9s. And then if I go above 65 to the 70 mile an hour range, then I'm going to be in the low 8s, high 7s. Depending on what freight I have. And that's with the rental trailer, which is not efficient at all.
All right. So how many miles are you driving per week, let's say?
So that was part of my expenses going in. The first few months, I purposely tried out local regional runs where it was anywhere from 100 miles per load to 500 miles. Sometimes I did 2 per day, 2 separate loads per day. So those weeks I ran maybe 1,000 to 1,800 miles per week total. Now I run 2,000 to 3,000 miles per week, depending on what's available.
And you said you're aiming for $800 a day if you're working 5.5 days a week. So let's say that on average, we're grossing 17,600.
Mm-hmm.
So working days is 22. Can we say 2,500 a week on average?
Yeah.
So 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, that's an average of 176 per mile. Now, the beauty of your operation is that you don't have a truck payment, because this is what is killing most people. You do have to rent a trailer, $750. All right, I'm just going to put 600. There we go. Truck insurance, about $2,080 a month.
There was a down payment, and there was about $1,890 per month.
I see, $1,890 per month. Do you pay for a dispatch service?
No, absolutely not.
For driver salary, obviously you are yourself the driver. Do you set aside a salary for yourself?
I don't have a set number that I pay myself. My goal is my own home expenses and then a little bit on top of that, but that's just for calculation purposes.
So I think your recording cut out for just a second because I
Okay.
think you were getting another call, right? So I'm just going to reiterate. You said you usually like to set aside for yourself $1,000
Yeah.
a week.
Yeah.
So that per month would be $4,000.
hmm
You said that your truck gets about 7 miles to the gallon. Is that or 8 miles on average?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Usually 8 is the bottom.
Let's say 4 weeks in the month. That's about 1,250 gallons. So I'm just going to put that here. What is your average that you're getting for per gallon that you would say?
After tax, it's so for, like the last, I don't know, however many months, I'd say about 290 per gallon.
Solid.
Yeah.
290 times 1,250. All right, so that's about $3,600. Tolls. Do you have how much you pay in tolls?
I probably wouldn't even count it because sometimes it's not even anything per month, and then one time in a week I might get like $300.
Got it.
Maybe.
So maybe we can just put $100
Yeah, right.
maybe on average. Is it? What about maintenance? Now there are some months where you have to pay a lot for maintenance, some months where you don't have to pay barely anything. How do you think about that? What are you reserving each month to go toward maintenance?
Part of what I learned from the Let's Truck program from Kevin Rutherford was if your truck's over 500,000 miles, put aside 10 cents per mile.
So $1,000 a month on maintenance. What do you pay for your ELD? Which ELD do you have?
I used the Motive ELD, and they called me with an offer. I think it was like $65 per month with the dash cam included.
Nice. And what about IFTA? Are you paying out every quarter, or do you usually get money back?
I've been having to pay, I would say on average about 150 per quarter on top.
Oh, okay. So that's not too bad, just like $50 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Any other fixed or variable expenses that you can think of?
Taxes and registration, I believe that's 9 cents per mile total.
Okay, so that would
Yeah,
be
9 cents per mile.
All right, so per week that'd be $225.
Yep.
So per month we're 900.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the total I put aside for taxes, maintenance, and fees and all that stuff, I put 19 cents a mile aside total.
All right. So now we have a full picture of what the business is bringing in and what it costs to run the business. And it looks like on average, you are netting about a little over $5,000 a month. And that is not including what you have paid yourself, right?
Right.
As your minimum. This is what I definitely need to bring home to cover expenses. So this is a very pretty picture compared to the other things that we have seen in the industry. Lots of people going out of business. Probably the key thing here is that you don't have a truck payment. What other things do you think that you're doing differently than other people to make these kinds of numbers work in this industry right now?
I mean, even with the truck payment, what I count for the truck payment, as I said, I just do it for calculation purposes, is if I did my whole business cost as a loan in the beginning to start up, my payment would be $1,782 per month for 5 years I believe that's at a 7% rate. So even if you take out $1,700 per month out of that, that still leaves profit there.
Yeah.
And the big things are just not spending a lot on your truck, thinking about it when you go into it.
All right. Well, this is a very nice picture. So this is with your, estimated truck payment. But this is the real picture without the estimated truck payment. This is looking really good. Congrats on your first year of business. That is a huge milestone. Ilya, thank you so much for joining us on This Week in Trucking. If you liked this video and you want to see more, please give this video a like and subscribe to This Week in Trucking so you never miss out on an episode. And everybody, drive safe.